Hello friends, it's the Stitches, and today I'm going to show you how I made this dress based off of the character Misty Sutton from the Snot Girl comics. For this project, I will be using patterns that I drafted myself, so I don't have any commercial patterns to share with you. Since I didn't want to buy just 2 small squares of the right color fabric, I dug into my scrap bin and found some white repurposed bedsheet material to dye. I knew right away that her shoulder straps were not ruffles, but rather flounces. Flounces are strips of fabric that are cut on a spiral curved shape, and this causes the fabric to warp along the bias, which gives it its shape as opposed to being gathered. Since I'm using a thin white linen for the base of my dress, I made sure to use interfacing on both the fashion and the lining pieces. This gives me a result that is much more authentic than ruffles would have been. Next, it's time to move on to the bodice. I did most of my seams on the serger except for the curved princess seams on the front, which I tacked down to keep as clean as possible. The bodice is lined with more white linen. I decided I wanted to layer my skirts even though the original dress is 1 layer, but this isn't really meant to be a cosplay, even though I will probably title that to rake in those sweet views. The bottom layer is a vintage bed sheet that I thrifted, and I couldn't resist adding a little ruffle to show off these adorable pastel stripes. Once it's all constructed, it's time to stitch my pieces all together. Now it's time for the appliques, which are all cut from scraps that I had lying around. These are also interfaced to give them some structure. After everything is stitched and turned, it's time to paint my citrus slices using my reference photo. After the pockets are attached, this project is done. I had a lot of fun making this piece, and believe it or not, this is my first project even remotely like this. Aside from one Mad Hatter costume that I made in high school, I typically stick to original designs, so it was very fun trying to interpret someone else's art in clothing form. I hope everyone has a good day, and I will see you next time. Bye!